Hi, my name is Grazielle and I dated across 4 countries: Brazil, Italy, England, and the United States. I kept attracting emotionally unavailable men. It didn't matter that the culture was different, the language was different, I attracted the same. I keep repeating the same pattern. 30, I was diagnosed with autism and then everything changed. I changed the way I was dating. I created rules that are for ADHD women and that respect my nervous system, and then I finally met my husband. Well, I'm Grazielle and this is my story. This is also video 1 of the channel because I want to tell you what happened, what I've learned, and what you can expect if you stick around. So let me take you back with me. I was diagnosed with ADHD in 2011 and then with autism in 2020. And I did a lot of dating in the meantime between diagnosis 1 and 2, a lot of dating. I lived in Brazil, I lived in Italy, I'm multilingual, and I thought that by changing country, I would find the right person. I thought maybe the problem was Brazilian man or maybe the problem was Italian man. Spoiler alert, the problem wasn't the man, and it wasn't me being broken either. The problem was that I didn't understand my brain. The patterns were always the same. I would meet someone, feel the spark, start dating, then I start masking myself to be someone that they would like and ignoring their inconsistencies, their red flags. I would also justify themselves by like, oh, they are working on themselves, or it takes a while to change. And then 6 months later, I will be again devastated, sad, thinking, why does this always happen to me? I would go to therapy, I would read self-help books, I would ask my friends and they would give me the neurotypical advice. Just stop overthinking, maybe you're too picky, things will happen when they need to happen. But none of that really helped because I was using neurotypical advice for a neurodivergent brain. Then in 2020, when I was diagnosed with autism, I was in denial at first. I was like, how can I be autistic if I have friends? I travel independently. I have gone to university. I date, I speak with people. It's not possible. How can I be autistic? But the more I understand about autism, especially how autism develops in women that were socialized as girls and taught to mask and pretend everything is good and behave, everything started clicking. The reason I felt exhausted after every date, that wasn't because I was low energy or introverted. That was because I was masking hard. The reason I kept missing red flags, it wasn't because I'm stupid. It's because I was trained to ignore my own discomfort and make other people happy, to people please. The reason I kept attracting emotionally available people, it's because I was masking. They liked the version of me that was pretending. They didn't even get to meet the real me. Everything suddenly made sense and I realized I have to start dating different. So I made a decision. I sat down and said, I am an ADHD woman and I will date authentically. No more masking, no more people pleasing, no more ignoring my needs to make other people happy, and no more following neurotypical advice. And I started creating rules for myself. Not the typical don't text first or don't chase him. Rules that respect my need for clear and direct communication. Rules that respect my sensory needs. Rules that respect my need for time alone, and rules that help me see patterns before I get too involved. I wrote everything down, I tested everything, and I was ruthless about my rules. Even when I met someone that I liked, if that person was not able to give me what I need, I would have to end it with them. Even had some good friends saying that I was being too picky, but no, I knew that something needed to change. And here's what happened. I stopped attracting emotionally unavailable partners. I stopped wasting my time on six-month situationships that didn't go anywhere, and I started respecting my needs and feeling comfortable with myself. Within months of creating and following these rules, I met my husband. But I need you to understand, it wasn't magic. It wasn't a spell that makes people, the right people, just show up. It was just that the rules kept me authentic to myself and helped me recognize people that were really interested on me. My husband didn't require me to mask. He respected my time alone, he respected my sensory needs, and he actually learned more about autism just to understand me better. That's when I knew this approach works, not to find any relationship, but to find the right relationship for you. So after I got married, I started sharing little pieces of my story on Instagram and TikTok, and I got so many messages of other ADHD women saying, "Are you on my brain? How do you know that? That happens to me all the time." And I just saw that it's not coincidence. It's problems that we all go through. And then I looked around for resources to point to them, but I found nothing made for ADHD women and dating. All the dating advice out there is showing you how to mask more, not less, how to be more comfortable in being uncomfortable, and that's not what we need. So I created what I wish I had when I was 25, going around countries, crying myself, thinking I had something wrong. I created a full framework, 77 pages, with dating advice, with my rules, and also how to meet parents, how to meet friends, a lot of reflection prompts. It's a full framework for dating for ADHD women. And now I am starting this channel because I want to reach more late diagnosed ADHD women. So let me tell you what to expect about this channel. I'm gonna give you insights about how to date as a late diagnosed ADHD woman. I'm gonna call out toxic neurotypical advice that do not help us and do not work for our brain. And I'm gonna help you recognize dating patterns on your own dating story. I'm also gonna teach you how to impose boundaries without over-explaining or over-apologizing. I am also not gonna sugarcoat anything. My style is blunt and direct, and I will say exactly what I think. If you are making excuses for someone's bad behavior, I'm gonna call it out. I care way more about you having results than you wasting your time with people that don't really like the real you. I want this channel to feel like a conversation. I read every single comment, so please tell me your story. I'm really interested to hear about all the different ADHD women across the world. Now let me be clear who this channel is for. This channel is for late diagnosed ADHD women that are tired of masking in relationships. People who are tired of being heartbroken. People who are tired of the neurotypical advice that do not work. This is for women that want to put in the work because it's difficult to unlearn patterns that we learned during years and years. So you need to be ready to really change things if you want to get the results that you want, if you want to get a partner that understands, loves, and respects who you are. If you are this woman, welcome. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, comment, let me tell me your whole story. Tell me any doubts you had, anything that is difficult for you so I can create more content based on that. Here's what I want you to take from this video. You are not broken, you're not too much, you are not overreacting, you are just following the wrong rules for your brain. And that's what this channel is about, helping you create rules that work for you and respecting yourself. Drop a comment below, tell me in what part of the journey are you? Are you just being diagnosed? Do you already know for some time? How is dating for you? Are you having any problem dating? And if you know any other late diagnosed ADHD woman, share this with her too. Thank you very much and I'll see you next video.